Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Phil and Ryan on Listen Up. Ryan on this pod on this Tuesday morning, a very bright and early Tuesday morning. Ryan, we are going to go over the prime candidates on this UConn Huskies women's basketball team. Ryan, first question is, who do you have breaking out in the 2023 season? Not only that, this puts a lot of pressure on our subs, good pressure, because I told you earlier today, I'm like, Ryan, when we woke up, I said, let's do something different. Let's go ahead and ask a big question. Who is primed to break out on this 2023-24 roster? And Ryan, to be honest, if you had to say, wouldn't it be everybody on that list?
Well, we hope so. Yeah, we hope the whole roster is primed for a breakout and ready to shine this season. But I am interested to see what you guys have to say in the comments and who you think's going to have a breakout season. So should be an interesting conversation in the comments. But this was a hard question for me. I thought about it for a while. Some of the names that first came to mind are Paige and Azzy. Headed into their junior years, we are expecting big things out of them. But I feel like with Paige and AG, like I just said, we expect them to be great. We already know that they're both going to have a great season, or we definitely expect them to. So I wanted to pick someone who I thought was under the radar. I thought about KK as well. She's a really good pick. Seeing what she did in Europe, she looks like a very promising freshman going into the season, and we're of course expecting big things from her in the coming years. And because she's a freshman, I'm just not sure how many minutes that she's going to pick up due to the amount of talent on this team. So with that said, I'm going to go with Aubrey Griffin to have a breakout season this year. I'm guilty of not talking about as Aubrey as much as I probably should have, but I feel like in most games she plays hard, she does her job, does what she needs to do to help the team win. But in my opinion, she's really not one of the main players, or part of the big three, or whatever you want to call it, the difference maker. But I think Aubrey, who's coming into her senior year, final season here at UConn, I think she's primed to have a breakout and be a player who can step up in big games and really take control. I want to see Aubrey have more opportunities with the ball and really take advantage when she does. She plays spectacular defense more times than not. I'd say she's one of the main players on the UConn defensive front that kind of starts everything, gets the ball rolling on defense. But I really want to see her step up on the offensive side and kind of blossom into an offensive threat for this team, with it being her senior year. I feel like she still has some things to prove, and I believe she can prove them this season.
Very well said. I thought about it too, Ryan, very quickly, even though we probably should have taken more time. But no, I mean, there's only so much thinking you can do. To be honest with you, I might get criticized for this a lot. It's nothing new when it comes to Phil, right? In my opinion, the UConn Huskies, talk about 2015, especially what was it, 2015 to 2019, when Katie Lou Samuelson was with UConn, shining, right? Shining with UConn. Katie Lou Samuelson. During them years, to me, they just seemed like the size was, and even before that, the size ends going down in the paint. The size was just there to compete with the bigger schools. Whoever was ranked at the top, we're not going to go back and look now. We're talking about prime candidates to break out. I'm telling you right now, I have to, and again, it's just because of size. Now, you want to talk about KK Arnold arriving, Caden Samuels, all the new ones? I get it. We haven't seen them in real game time yet. Will we
Yeah.
at all? I'm sure, just a little bit. But the fact of the matter is, to be honest with you, Ryan, I thought about it. I'm like, besides the fact that I want to say Paige Beckers, obviously, that's already a given. We know what she's capable of.
Yeah.
I have to go with Aaliyah Edwards. I have to go with Aaliyah Edwards. And we'll get down in the comments pretty soon here. It was a comment about Edwards, too, and I can't wait to read it to you. I have to go with Aaliyah Edwards. Ryan, if you understand what I'm trying to say, it's, to me, in my opinion, talk about when I sit here and say I think the UConn Huskies can have the best season yet, since Paige Beckers has been there. I truly believe it. I truly believe this 2023 season will be the best year since Paige Beckers has been with UConn. And I think it all starts with down below. In my opinion, again, now, especially losing Dorka Juhas, Lou Lopez Seneschal was a great talent. But again, down low. Who do you have when it comes to, LSU, the bigger schools? You know what I'm talking about. Who do you have down low? To me, it all starts with Aaliyah Edwards. And I'm not saying she has not broken out in years past. We've seen, man, she's been arguably the best player. But again, in my opinion, they need her even more performance-wise.
Yeah, I mean, she was definitely the best player last year, and she really shined. And I think it's going to be difficult to kind of have a repeat performance, but I definitely think that she can do it. I mean, she was clearly the leader of this team, especially after AZ went down. Obviously, didn't have Paige last season, so Aaliyah really did have a bounce back year from her sophomore year, and last year during her junior year, she really showed why she is a UConn Husky and why she was recruited to come here all the way from Canada. And she really played amazing. I mean, she could have been in the National Player of the Year conversation because all of us that watched her throughout the year last year, she did everything for UConn, offense and defense on both sides of the ball. And during March Madnesses too, had great games. The 3 or 4 games that they played last March. So I agree with that as well. I think she's going to be one of the tone setters for sure. On both sides of the ball this year, and I think she's going to kind of get things rolling as well in terms of how this team starts out. So it definitely should be interesting.
And you wonder why I bring up Katie Lou Samuelson. I mean, besides, look at the rest of that roster. This is from, 2018. Olivia Nelson-Adota, Kristen Williams, Nafisa Collier. I mean, Ryan, so it's Crystal Dangerfield. It's no secret. So it all starts down below and, in the paint. And again, you said it 100% right. But it's just, in my opinion, they have been lacking size, and it worries me even more now that we have these quote unquote super teams, like people like to say now. But again, it's a mystery even more because of so many new faces coming in. With that said, they have definitely, I don't know, has the UConn Huskies been lacking size? I'm asking you.
Yeah, I'd say. Well, I mean, I think there's no mistake for this five. I think it's 5-year championship drought at UConn. I don't think it's any mistake that UConn's been on this drought because of their lack of size down below. I think that's a big reason why UConn hasn't really been able to go across the finish line and get another national championship since those players that you just named, the bigs down low, since they all left. It kind of seems like that's the huge void. And definitely Aaliyah Edwards is going to be the leader down below. And I think Ice Brady, her coming back this season is going to be huge. Her and Ayana, I think, are going to be two really big players, and they're prime candidates for this question as well. With them both being sophomores now, bigs down below, I think they definitely have a lot to prove and can really have breakout seasons of their own down in the paint.
I have to apologize. I thought the comment about Aaliyah Edwards was on here. Unfortunately, it's not. I'll have to go back and check on another video, maybe another time. But it said, why is she a 4th American overall? I don't know. It was something to do with it. But yeah, it's just it's basically, I think they were getting to the point that she's definitely underrated. And I would agree. I mean, you don't hear about Aaliyah Edwards a lot like some of the other ones in the NCAA. But hey, look, with that said, Ryan, it's time for comments before we get this Tuesday underway. Let's jump over to Todd. Todd goes 3 words: addicted to buckets.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of hoping that that's the thing for the whole team this year. We know Paige Buckets is definitely addicted to buckets, but we're hoping it kind of rubs off on the whole team as well for this season.
We're actually going to save this for another time, Ryan, because you and I remember this episode very much, and we love that time of the year. Give it about another month, I think. You'll be in charge of this. Phil and Ryan, give me your starting five for the Huskies this coming season. Don't do it yet, Ryan.
Yeah, that I think that's gonna be a tradition for a long time about the starting lineup right before about a week or two before the season starts, maybe a little bit earlier, but that's always our favorite question going throughout the whole entire off season. We're always thinking about that and can't wait until we get to have that episode about who our final five are in the starting lineup.
Arthur, bad breaking news. LSU hosted Sarah Strong and Kate Coble. No mention of UConn at all. Kim Mulkey thinks both will be signing to play at LSU. Gino crickets. Who was it that said a couple months back that Sarah Strong secretly committed to UConn? That Gino has two more top five ready to commit. Like I said several times already, until they sign commitments means squat.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think it's any concern because we all know that eventually UConn, every single class, we're pretty fortunate that UConn usually gets a top 5, top 10, or at least top 25 player, or a couple of them, I should say. So I don't think it's really any concern, but I can't say I'm surprised by that those two women would choose to go to LSU, considering all the talent that they just picked up in the transfer portal. So not really any surprise there, but I wouldn't worry too much about UConn because I'm sure they'll pick up another or a couple recruits that are high in that class.
All right, one more, Ryan. Grobel, we can't leave Grobel out. The UConn Big East Conference schedule should be out soon. The last few years, they released it in the middle of September.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if it is out or not. I checked ESPN earlier, but I don't think it's out yet. But we definitely will have an episode breaking down that when they do release it. I'm pretty sure it's not officially out yet. But yeah, I had fun breaking down the non-conference schedule. So, but the in-conference schedule is definitely. It's definitely ramped up, I'd say, for the past couple of years because of the talent level getting better. But it should be interesting as well. I know the non-conference schedule. Really looking forward to some of those matchups.
This one actually just caught my eye very quickly. I'm a UConn student. William Jazz. I'm a UConn student. I think that's the first time ever, Ryan. There's a shout out to this person. UConn student, and I saw Paige and a few more players from the team playing basketball in our student gym the other day. Ryan, how cool is this? They're looking really good. I was able to play in a game against them, and trust me, it's no joke being out there. Whoa!
Well, that has to be pretty special when you can be a student at UConn and just walk into the same gym where Paige and AZ are playing basketball and then get a chance to play against them. That's pretty cool. I think we did have one other. I remember one other student down there it was almost I think a couple months ago. I remember somebody, but yeah, that's pretty awesome when you go to the same campus and just can walk on the same gym where they're playing ball.
Ryan, I have to admit, don't you think these people are fun? This UConn fan base is a lot of fun, and I know that you and I cannot wait until November rolls around when they host the Maryland Terps, so we can meet them in the student section, meet the parents, meet everybody. We can't wait, and we all know that you can't wait, like always, Ryan. Hey, Disruptive one commented the other day and said it is nice to have a video. Paige getting a deal with Nike is a big nothing burger, though. Well, we get it. It's sometimes tough, Ryan, to come up with topics to talk about during the off season. But guess what? He spoke about a burger. Have you ever heard of Fuddruckers, Ryan? Why don't we skip down there today for lunch? Fuddruckers is American fast casual franchise restaurant that specializes in their hamburgers, Ryan. So let's go get a well cooked, well done hamburger today. How's that?
Yeah, I'm always down for a good burger. I can never deny that one.
Here's a Tuesday Fuddruckers, Ryan. I'll see you later this week. Phil and Ryan, listen up.